I've been playing piano since I was 5 and singing since I was around about the same age. My aunt was the church organist, and as a little girl I'd go with her to church and I'd sit on the organ bench next to her and really marvel at how she would play all the different pedals and all the different notes at the same time. So I then took some lessons with her, but I was a very feisty 5-year-old, so unfortunately I had to have an external teacher that wasn't a family member. My grandmother had this beautiful passage, and I'd come walking down the passage with the microphone, you know, pretending I was like a big star. And I was saying to them they have to throw money, you know, so I think that's kind of where it started for me. My mom, she always sang to me before I fell asleep at night. Lots of Roberta Flack, Dionne Warwick, Sarah Vaughan. My dad also plays the alto sax and was in a band in the 70s called Big Daddy. So that's really, I think, the earliest jazz influence I had. It's difficult to start forging a career because it's not always what you expected to be doing. But it takes time, and you know, you enter competitions and you do auditions for shows. I distinctly remember an audition for the SABC Woman of the Year Awards. I auditioned and I sang Summertime. And 3 days later, the same company gave me a call and said, listen, Sibongile Khumalo is performing with Winston Mankunku before you, and we'd love you to sing your Summertime. And that essentially became my big television break. And then from there, I worked with Jimmy Tlulu on one of his songs on Afrocentric. And then I had the Old Mutual Jazz Encounters, and I really wasn't going to enter this competition. And I won for the Best Jazz Vocalist in 2002. The process of making Zillion Miles really was a journey, and hence the title, because it really was a journey. I learned so much about myself as a musician and as a singer and as a songwriter. When it came out, it really, you know, made people identify with the trip that I was on as a singer and as a musician and as a human being at the time. That was my debut album as a solo artist. It's been really incredible to be an ambassador, you know, of South Africa and South African music when you go abroad. I feel like our heritage and culture has nothing to do with a skin tone. I really feel like it's got to do with South Africa and being South African. Really trying to, you know, hold the flag very high, singing the national anthem, singing a lot of South African jazz repertoire. Always very nice and very proud moment when you're overseas and you're able to kind of say, this is my culture, this is where I come from. I really see my part in South African jazz as a hybrid, really. A hybrid of a product of South African jazz as well as being influenced by American traditional jazz. So hoping to kind of join the Miriam Makebas with the Ella Fitzgeralds. Maybe grand, but it won't be the round. You can really express yourself with jazz. You're not limited in terms of pitch or melody or rhythm. It's like jumping on a train and you have no idea where it's going to go to. And sometimes it can take you to the same place, but most of the time it takes you to an unimaginably beautiful place that you never thought you'd land up at. Suddenly I get this call, you know, from Alan Webster, and he's like, yeah, so I'm just phoning to book you for next year's Grahamstown. I'm like, wow, we haven't even done this year's Grahamstown, but thanks, yes, I am available. And he goes, yeah, no, we usually, you know, book the Standard Bank Young Artist first. And I was like, yeah, thanks, that's great. Can you just repeat what you just said? I was in such a different space. I feel like I have a lot to learn, and it's given me such a beautiful kind of springboard to take myself to the next level.